So we all have our favorite superhero and superpower, whether it be Superman with his eye lasers or Spider-Man with his spidey senses. But what if I were to tell you that there are animals on Earth right now with even cooler superpowers than your favorite superhero? Well, buckle up, because here's 7 animals that make superheroes look normal. The first one on this list is the Oriental hornet. These flying pain inducers are found everywhere, like Africa, Asia, Europe, South America, and they're known for having one of the most painful stings in the insect kingdom. According to some people, it feels like lava coursing through your veins. No, thank you. Oh, and I forgot to mention that pain could last for days, just so you know, so there's that. But what really separates this hornet from the rest is those yellow bands around their body. Those bands can absorb sunlight and convert the sunlight into electricity, like a built-in solar panel. In fact, it's actually the only creature on Earth known to convert sunlight into electricity. That's gangster. But what makes it even crazier is scientists have no idea what the electricity is used for. However, it's believed that it quite literally supercharges the hornet. They become faster, stronger, sharper senses, faster reflexes. I don't like it. The next superhero on the list is the cuttlefish. To be honest, I don't think they come from this planet. First off, they have 3 hearts. That's already suspicious. They also have what some people would consider to be the best camouflage abilities on planet Earth. Not only can they change colors, but they can change their texture and their shape too. And they could change faster than we could blink. And don't even get me started on their eyes. They could see a creature from up to 2 miles away, in every direction, because they have 360-degree vision. You can't even sneak up on them from 2 miles away. Oh, and did I mention that some of them are poisonous and there's no antidote for it because their poison contains an unidentified compound? I'm telling you, it doesn't come from Earth. But their craziest ability is the fact that they can hypnotize their prey. I wish I was joking. They can use their camouflage to keep flashing over and over again, which induces hypnosis on a lot of fish. In other words, if you ever want to be hypnotized, just go to the ocean. Another sentence I never thought I'd say. But the next one is a lot smaller and a lot more violent. The bombardier beetle. They're also known as the chemical cannon. That sounds like a superhero. Basically, it's a fully carnivorous beetle with a built-in chemistry lab. Inside their body, they have 2 chambers. One holds hydrogen peroxide and the other holds hydroquinone. And then there's a 3rd chamber where these chemicals mix together. And they create an acid that sits at over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. As Paris Hilton would say, that's hot. And whenever they feel threatened, they could spray this chemical with precise accuracy. Not to mention, they could spray over 500 times per second. That's a chemical Gatling gun. In other words, those ants are about to get super soaked in boiling acid. But what's crazy is this chemical is so potent that they don't even have predators. Occasionally a frog will eat them until the beetle sprays in their stomach and then they throw it up. Science hurts. Even a praying mantis won't mess with the Heisenbug. That's gangster. Moral of the story, if you're ever feeling down, just remember, it could be worse. You could be a bug dealing with this. However, it would be no match for the next one on this list, which is the axolotl. Let me start off by saying that nothing about this creature makes a lick of sense. First off, those things on its head are gills, so it can breathe underwater. They can also take in oxygen through their skin, because their skin acts like lungs. That already doesn't make sense. Makes even less sense when you find out that they actually have lungs. Bro can breathe. But what really makes them a superhero is the fact that they can regenerate their limbs. And it's not like a normal regeneration. These guys can regenerate everything. We're talking legs, gills, eyes, pieces of its brain. Makes it even cooler is they don't have teeth. Instead, they use a vacuum suction in their mouth and they just crush their prey. And sometimes they'll vacuum up rocks too to make the crushing go smoother. It's weird, man. But the cherry on top is when they can't find food, they'll just go cannibalistic and eat the limbs of their family and friends. But they do this knowing that those limbs will regenerate. Call me crazy, but that's an infinite food glitch. I'll be honest, I can't tell if that's evil or a genius. Regardless, I want that superpower. That's the one I want. Either that or the next one on this list. The pistol shrimp. Now don't get me wrong, they don't look like a superhero. I mean, they're only 4 centimeters in size. But let me tell you, That is the most powerful 4 centimeters on planet Earth. Now, the first thing you'll notice about them is they have one big claw and one little claw. And they get their name because they can snap that big claw so hard that they create a sound at 210 decibels, which is louder than a gun. And that's just the beginning. This is where things get crazy. You see, when they snap that big claw, they also fire a bubble bullet out at over 60 miles an hour. And that bubble bullet can reach temperatures of over 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Put that into perspective, that is nearly the temperature of the surface of the sun. Let that sink in. However, the next animal does not pride itself on power, but rather deception. And that is the lyrebird. It's a songbird that's only found in Australia, and they're known for their remarkable ability to mimic the sounds of other animals. However, due to habitat loss, they've been forced to move closer and closer to humans. And after spending some time with humans, they've developed an entire new catalog of sounds. Like a baby crying. That will never not be weird to me. But as crazy as this sounds, it gets weirder. Like a car alarm. Or a camera shutter. These weird laser sounds. Or this. That was a flippin' chainsaw. This bird mimicked a chainsaw. Man, do I hope nobody fires a pew-pew around them. But learning new sounds is actually really important to them when it comes to finding a mate. To find a mate, the male has to sing a song to the female using all of the sounds he's learned. And whichever male has the most unique song gets the lady. In other words, if you ever see a lyrebird, be a good wingman. Teach it some cool sounds. But if that one didn't shock you, the next one definitely will. Because we're talking about the electric ray. It's kind of like a regular stingray, except with the powers of Thor. Like an electric eel, they're electrical hunters with no predators and a shock strong enough to knock out an adult human. But what makes them special is the way they hunt. Basically, when they spot their prey, they swim above it and wrap their fins around it, creating this tunnel. And then they just start electrocuting with 200 volts from every single direction. And unlike most electrical creatures, it's not just one shot. These bad boys can shock their prey up to 500 times in a matter of seconds. And according to scientists, they can unload a kilowatt of energy in one attack. Thor, come get your friends. But the cherry on top is the fact that they can also use their electrical powers for electroreception. That means there's no hiding. They can sense the whereabouts of any creature around them by detecting the electrical pulses inside their body. In other words, do not get close to this thing. You don't want to deal with a swimming taser. And just like that, you have now learned about 7 animals that make superheroes look normal. If you enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. I need more friends. With that being said, I love you guys. And as always, stay odd. We'll see you on the next one. Bye!